All right, now let's get you the top story that we are tracking in this bulletin. Indian diplomatic outposts in Bangladesh are on high alert this morning as a wave of violent anti-India protest sweeps across the country. Overnight developments in Bangladesh have caused deep unease. Foreign policy officials in New Delhi reports indicate that Islamicized mobs angered by the death of Osman Hadi, a radical anti-Hasina leader, have laid siege to Indian diplomatic missions. Sharif Osman Hadi, who had been shot earlier, was undergoing treatment in Singapore and he succumbed to his injuries on Thursday, triggering a fresh wave of protest politics across Bangladesh. As the situation spiraled in the face of escalating violence, interim government head Mohammad Yunus addressed the nation and appealed for restraint, even as speculation mounted that his government itself would come under threat. However, protests explicitly targeting India have become a major cause for concern in New Delhi. In response, India has issued a formal démarche to Bangladesh urging authorities to ensure the safety of Indian diplomats and to take firm action against the rising tide of anti-India Islamist rhetoric.
আইনশৃঙ্খলা রক্ষাকারী বাহিনী ও সংশ্লিষ্ট সংস্থাগুলোকে পেশাদারিত্বের সঙ্গে তদন্ত কার্যক্রম পরিচালনা করে সুযোগ দিন। রাষ্ট্র আইনের শাসন প্রতিষ্ঠায় সম্পূর্ণরূপে প্রতিশ্রুতিবদ্ধ। আমি আবারও স্পষ্টভাবে বলতে চাই, ওসমান হাদি ছিলেন পরাজিত শক্তি ফ্যাসিস্ট সন্ত্রাসীদের শত্রু। তার কণ্ঠ স্তব্ধ করে বিপ্লবীদের ভয় দেখানোর অপচেষ্টা সম্পূর্ণভাবে ব্যর্থ করে দেন। ভয়, সন্ত্রাস কিংবা রক্তপাতের মাধ্যমে এদেশের গণতান্ত্রিক অগ্রযাত্রা কেউ থামাতে পারবে না। আমরা এখন গণতান্ত্রিক উত্তরণের চূড়ান্ত পর্যায়ে উপনীত হয়েছি। শহীদ হাদি ছিলেন এই প্রক্রিয়ার অবিচ্ছেদ্য অংশ। তার একান্ত ইচ্ছা ছিল আসন্ন নির্বাচনে প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করে
All right, CNN News 18's Anand Narasimhan is joining us on this story. Anand, the situation is very tense in Bangladesh. Of course, Indian government is keeping a very close eye on this. What is the latest that you can tell us about the situation there on the ground?
Morning, Arun, and morning to all our viewers. See, it is indeed unfortunate. Any killing, any political killing or otherwise is unfortunate. Now, Usman Hadi may have had a particular point of view and he may have launched a party called the NCP just a few days ago. And the plank itself is the case. Now, there is a huge concern that there are anti-India forces which are trying to control the narrative, and it is slipped way beyond Mohammad Yunus's control. It is the Pakistan ISI which is very active there, and somewhere this whole narrative about Hasina is equal to India, India is equal to Hasina. So if you go against and if you whip up the entire sentiment against India, that means you're creating an anti-Hasina kind of a move there, or anti-Awami League kind of a mood on ground. Or if you attack and target the Awami League and Sheikh Hasina, then by default you're also going after India. Now this is how the narrative has been stitched, and this is something which we've seen happens with political leaders who try and whip up this anti-India sentiment in South Asia, in the neighborhood. Now, it happened in Maldives, it happened in Sri Lanka, it happened in Nepal, and it is rampant in Pakistan. But this is something which is present there. The concern is that Bharatiya missions have been attacked. There has been no proof that Bharat has anywhere been involved in all of this, or even if the involvement of an Awami League, etc. Because most of the Awami League leaders are all in exile. They've all fled Bangladesh. Or they're all incarcerated. Nearly 100 MPs are inside in prison. So this can be deliberately orchestrated. This is a possibility that to stoke unrest and send Dhaka into another wave of crisis, so that somehow the elections can be denied and Yunus can continue to stay in power. There are rumors that maybe Mohammad Yunus's time is up and he may be overthrown and the radicals might just take over. But the army is quietly watching. The army is deployed. It's going to try and maintain peace. The elections are scheduled in February. We have to wait and watch how it goes. But it's the safety of Indian diplomats. It's the safety of Indian citizens. It's the safety of the Indian missions in Bangladesh. That is the responsibility of this interim government. And somewhere, Mohammed Yunus seems to be totally failing there, and he seems to be totally now co opted by entities that are inimical to Bharat.